What is up everybody? As always, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we're talking about my workspace, and when I'm talking about the workspace, I'm talking about a bit more than just my computer, my desk, and what sits on it as far as tech goes. I'm talking about the whole room. Because my workspace, I think, is a place that needs to enable me to do different things, such as create videos for YouTube and Instagram really rapidly. It needs to be a place where I can feel productive so I can get my work done during the day. It also needs to be a place where I feel creative, where I can get inspiration from. And since this is also my bedroom, this brings a new challenge, which is that the workspace also needs to be able to help me chill at the end of the day, disconnect from work, all of that, so I can relax and get a good night of sleep. And so today we're going to talk about how this space kind of changes throughout the day, and of course we're going to touch on tech. Actually, this is going to be the main subject of the video since we are at the end of the day a tech channel. But as I start the day, I wake up, of course, this room is a bedroom. I do my bed, get downstairs, get a cup of coffee, the first one of the day. I usually have two. And then once I get back upstairs, the room needs to be a workspace where I feel productive. And I always start my day by planning out the day, and that happens on my secondary desk. And we'll talk about the main one in just a second, but my secondary desk is actually a drafting table that I got as a gift a while ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I like to start my day there since I don't have any screens or no tech there. It's just a regular table with a big window in front of me so I can look outside and get inspired as I drink my coffee. I also really like to draw on that table. It's something I used to do a lot, but I do it less and less for no particular reason. And on there, I always have my iPad on a little iPad stand that I got from Petaka. And what I really like about this specific stand is that you can just put your iPad on it, but also you can charge your phone. It has a little wireless charger at the base, which is really, really useful. And it's nice to have a good place for my iPad. And then of course, once that's done, I move to my main desk where I plug in my computer, which is still the 2019 MacBook Pro. The M1 chip is really, really powerful, so I don't really need to change it. The only limitation I got is from the memory, which is a bit low. Unlike storage where you can just buy a subscription like I do to Dropbox, there's no workaround for memory. However, it still does the job really well. It's where I edit all of my videos. It's where I get everything done. And that computer is plugged into an Acer monitor that I got when I was in design school. I needed a big monitor since a lot of the tools that we use in graphic design, especially in motion and video design, have a lot of toolbars that get really kind of overwhelming, especially if you have a small screen. You have like a little tiny screen to look at what you're doing. So it's the reason why I wanted a big monitor, and I got a 32-inch. Now, of course, I was a student, so I was in student budget. And I got this one because it wasn't too expensive. So it is a 32-inch monitor, like I said. It's only HD and it only has 300 nits. So I cannot recommend it to everyone. However, if you are looking for a budget 32-inch monitor, I think it does a really good job. And considering the lower nits, it's not that big of a problem for me since the room is quite dark. And you also have it's like glare safe, so if you're in front of a window or something, it won't be too annoying to use. Now everything sits on a standing desk, which I absolutely love. It is by Fully, and I really, really like it. I made a video not too long ago about standing desks, and I said one of the main things to look for is a desk that is stable, and it is definitely the case for this one. It is really stable, it is massive. Now as we go through this whole room, you'll see there are things that I'd like to change, but I won't be changing now since I actually have plans to move in with my girlfriend in the summer. We'll move together actually. And one of the things that I'm really not looking forward to moving is going to be this desk, since it is a really, really heavy desk. However, that also means that it is really sturdy and stable, which I absolutely love. I actually use the standing feature a lot more than I believed I would at first. Whenever I feel like I'm having a bit of a harder time focusing, it comes in really handy. Just stand up, move a bit, and it's really cool. Or if I'm in meetings, it helps me to stay focused into the meeting once again. I got it in a light walnut color because I just thought it would fit the room really well, and I really like the walnut aesthetics. I think it looks really good. And with the black legs, so it would fit with the rest of the room once again. I got a pretty large desk since I like to have a pretty large workspace. And I also have a really big mouse pad, or actually a desk mat from Orbit Key, which is also really, really good. The underneath part of the desk mat is made out of felt, which can be a bit annoying sometimes since it is kind of a slippery surface. However, because it is so large, it doesn't really move that much. And the top layer is made out of a leather-like finish, which is really nice since it's not a real leather. You can clean it with a damp cloth or with water. So that's really good if you're someone that tends to spill things over, like coffee or whatever. You don't need to worry about that, and it's super, super easy to clean. Another cool feature that they have, well, actually two cool features. One of them is that you can split the desk mount in two, and you can hide papers and stuff on there. So if you have like post-it notes or something, that would be a good place to hide them. Or if you're just quickly filming a video and have a bunch of paper on your desk, just hide it in there and it won't show. And then the next really good feature is that you have a little rail at the top where you can put pens, pencils, and stuff like that. But you can also put their little cable holder, which I find really, really useful, especially since I move in and out of this area quite a lot. If I'm going to work, for example, I'll have cables kind of laying around on the desk, and I like to have them there so that they don't fall behind the desk and it's annoying to get them back up. So this is a really, really cool feature. Since I need to get in and out of this room every now and then to go work at my office, I need to be able to unplug everything quite quickly. So for example, the charger for my Mac is plugged directly into the wall instead of being plugged into the power bar that sits under my desk where all the cable management happens. And that means that it's really easy. I just unplug my Mac, take the charger, and I'm ready to go. And while talking about charging, whenever I'm sitting at my desk, I charge my phone on the Petaka slider. It is a really, really cool little device. And what I really like about this one is that the little power bank can actually get out of the stand itself, and you can just slap it on the back of your phone, and now you have a power bank with you at all times. Then on there, I have the classic MX Master series. I have the MX Master keys, as well as the MX Master 3 for my mouse. I absolutely love this combo. The main reason why is because you can map out everything, and I'm talking about the mouse more. You can do that with the keyboard, however I'm not using that feature ever, but the mouse, you can map everything, every single button on there, which is really, really useful. So for example, since I work in UI UX, I use Figma quite a lot, and we have like this gigantic Canva to work on, so I can move sideways, up and down. All of that is really useful. And when I am editing videos, I use Premiere Pro, and the side wheel can allow me to scroll into the timeline. If I'm using, for example, Photoshop, the buttons will do different things. So it's a really, really solid mouse for that. And I'm actually looking to change the MX Master keys because, well, the main reason why I bought them at first was because I was using 3 different computers. However, that's not the case anymore. And I would really like to get into mechanical keyboards. I have one that I used to use for gaming, however, it is really big and chunky, and I don't think it fits the aesthetic that much. I'm looking for something that's a bit more clean and simple. And I don't really know where to start, if I'm being honest, so let me know down in the comments below if you have any ideas of keyboards that you think would fit with me and the whole setup. I would be really happy to look at your suggestions. And now when it comes to keeping me creative, I have a lot of stuff on my desk, well, not on the desk, but on the shelves up there. That helps me to find new ideas. So I have a lot of books and magazines that I really like to look into whenever I'm trying to find ideas. I especially like architecture books. Since I work in UI UX, well, the big part of the job is to try and find solutions that work both visually and as far as user experience goes. And actually, architecture is kind of the same. You have to have a really functional design that also looks good. So I like to find inspiration in those books. And of course, I have a little bit of just fun decorations, such as the little Lamborghini cars that my girlfriend gave me. If you know me, I'm more of a Porsche kind of guy, but it was still a cool gift, and they are on there. I also have a bunch of plants that I think bring a lot of life into the room, especially since this is quite a dark room throughout the day. I only have this window over there, but the room is kind of dark, so it really helps to bring in some life and some light into the room. And while we're talking about lights, I use smart lights to change kind of the vibe of the whole room. This really helps me set a different kind of mindset for when I'm working and for when I am just chilling at night or after work. So I have a smart light on my desk there and another one on my nightstand, and both of them kind of work together to set the vibe. I also love to use different scents to do different kind of tasks, and it really helps me to focus in, And there's a tech product that I got just for that. Actually, I wanted it for a while, and my girlfriend gave it to me on Christmas. So huge thanks to her. And it is the Move diffuser by a company called Vitruvi, and I really, really like this thing. You have a little charger. You just put it on there to charge, and then you can move it anywhere in the house. And since the little place where you put all of your essential oils isn't too big, you can actually change it throughout the day. And that's one of the things I really like about it. And they have a lot of really good oil blends on there. One of my favorite one these days is called Groove. And then when it comes to turning the whole workspace into kind of a more YouTube studio setup, if you will, well, there are a few things that I did. The first one is to keep all of my tripods and stuff ready at all times. They just sit under my desk with my light. And the camera is also always out. It's usually in my backpack actually, since I bring it everywhere just because I love taking pictures at all times. And one of the big things I really needed was a place to charge everything so that I always had batteries ready to go. And boom, now I'm lit. And for that, I bought a little drawer unit at IKEA called Mike. I didn't buy it just for the batteries, of course, I needed a place to store things. But I cut a little hole at the back and I have a power bar running in one of the drawers where I have all of my batteries charging at all times. So I always have a battery ready to go. So if I need to film something for YouTube, since I'm trying to make more and better content, of course I'm filming pretty much every day now, or if I'm just filming stuff for Instagram, for example, I have batteries ready to go all the time, and my whole setup is really easy to just take out. And one of the things I really like about this drawer is that it is on wheels, so if I need a bit more real estate at any given moment on my desk, maybe I'm taking a lot of notes or something, I can just pull it out and it gives me a nice little space to put more stuff. And it sits in really well under my desk. However, I have to say that's partly just because I'm a bit tall. If the desk is actually quite high, you can actually see the difference between my drafting table, which is a regular height, and my standing desk, which is a bit higher, since that's how I feel comfortable. And the first drawer of that desk is really where I keep everything that I use the most. So I have notepads in there, as well as a lot of pens. I'm a big fan of using notepads and pens for everything, for whenever I'm thinking, if I'm writing down lists and stuff. I find it's a really good way to just get ideas out of your brain. Another decoration that I got, which I really like, are these posters by a company called The Automobilist. One of the main reasons why I got these ones in specific is because the room was quite dark, and when I'm filming videos and stuff, it was kind of hard to manage all of this darkness. However, these being really light and bright, it actually reflects quite a lot of light into the room, so it makes the whole room brighter and more, it brings a bit more life into the room, kind of like the plants does. And now when it is the end of the day, of course it's time to chill, it's time to stop thinking about work, all of that, and what I do is I close all of my things. So I close my laptop, my screen, and well, that's actually pretty much it. And then I like to just relax, so I like to clean the desk so that it's, you know, nice and ready for the next day. And then we usually watch TV on a super old TV that I got maybe I think like 5 years ago when I just started to work. It's a TV that I bought from one of my mother's friends, and this is going to be the first thing that changes once I move out with my girlfriend, because it is old and it is kind of annoying. It's another big issue is that it is a plasma TV, which is actually kind of cool. It looks pretty good. However, plasma TVs in a small room like this means that it gets really hot really fast. If we just watch a movie, like the temperature here can change from like 3 degrees, so that's really annoying. And it's also only HD, which is getting a bit old. We will definitely be changing this TV once we move out. However, now the priority is to stack up money so that we can get a nice place and that the whole transition gets really smooth. And since this isn't a smart TV either, I have a little Roku stick on the back there, and I really love it. I think it's a really good solution for anyone who doesn't have a smart TV. It's super easy, you just plug it in and it works right away. And you can have an app on your phone too that works with it. So whenever we're streaming movies or series or whatever, we use that thing. And when it comes to gaming, I don't really game a lot anymore. However, lately we've been playing a bit with the Nintendo Switch. We found a lot of really small games that are really fun. One of our favorite ones currently to play is a little boomerang game. We play it with, well, my girlfriend, my brother, and I, and it's a really fun little game. If you have any other ideas of games that you like to play, let me know down in the comments. We're always looking for new cool little games to play. And when it's bedtime, I ask Google to close all of the lights. I have a Google Home thing on my nightstand, and I really love it. One of the cool things about it is that during the day it's pretty bright, so it's really easy to see the time. I also have the weather on there, and once it's nighttime it gets really dark and dim, so there's no light in the room, and that's really something that's important. So the main solution I have for switching your like workspace into like a really good bedroom is that you need to have zero light coming out of anything. So I taped all of my power bars, that way there's no light coming from this side when I'm trying to sleep. So that was it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a fantastic day.